All right, today we're talking about something huge. We're looking at the collision of two massive future technologies, the immersive world of the Metaverse and the, well, reality-bending power of quantum computing. This is really a story about the foundation of our next digital universe.
So let me just start with this question. What if we're building this incredible, vast, interconnected digital reality, but the very locks we're using to protect it all have a fundamental flaw, a flaw that a brand new kind of key can just pop open? That's really the heart of what we're digging into today.
Okay, so first things first. Before we can even get into the threats, we've got to be on the same page. What even is the Metaverse?
Right, so it's not just another video game or some fancy chat room. The key word here is persistent. This is a digital world that keeps existing and evolving even when you're logged off. It's this wild blend of virtual and augmented reality, all powered by this massive global network of computers.
And, this really breaks down what's going on behind the curtain. It's a whole bunch of things working together. You've got the VR headsets you wear, of course. Then there are these powerful servers all over the world that run the simulation. You have the engines that actually draw the 3D space around you, the systems that handle digital money and property. And this is the big one for us today, the security layers that prove you are who you say you are.
So that's the dream, right? An entirely new universe to explore. But just like any new frontier, this one's got its dangers. And the more of our lives we pour into this space, the higher the stakes get. So let's talk about the cracks that are already starting to show.
First up, your digital self. I want you to imagine someone not just stealing your password, but stealing you, your avatar, your face, your voice, your entire virtual being, and running around impersonating you. We're talking about something way, way beyond simple identity theft.
And it gets even more personal. I mean, those VR and AR systems that make everything so immersive, they work by tracking your every little move. We're talking your eye movements, your hand gestures, heck, maybe one day even your brain signals. That is some of the most sensitive data you can imagine. And for hackers, it's an absolute goldmine.
In a purely digital world, everything can be tracked. Where you go, who you talk to, what you look at, it all leaves a data trail. And this opens the door to a level of constant, pervasive surveillance that would be totally impossible in the physical world.
And of course, where you have people, you have money. Entire economies, digital assets, virtual property. It's all being built inside the Metaverse. And that means a whole new world of opportunity for massive economic fraud. And these virtual items, they can have very, very real-world value.
Now, these are all really serious problems on their own. But now we have to bring in the ultimate wild card, the threat that could literally break everything wide open: quantum computing. This isn't just a faster computer. It's a completely different way of processing reality.
So, how does this work? Well, your phone, your laptop, they think in bits. A bit is either a 0 or a 1. It solves problems by trying one path, then the next, just really, really fast. But a quantum computer, it uses qubits. And a qubit can be a 0 and a 1 at the same time. It's called superposition, and it means a quantum computer can explore millions of possibilities all at once.
And here's where it gets really scary. All of our modern internet security, the stuff that protects your bank account, your messages, everything, it's like a really, really complicated lock. A normal computer has to try every single combination, one by one, which would take billions of years. But a quantum computer running something called Shor's algorithm can basically try all the combinations simultaneously. It isn't a key, it's the master key to everything.
That sounds absolutely terrifying, right? The end of secrets? But here's the good news. The smartest people in this field saw this coming years ago. They are already building the next generation of defenses, a whole new kind of cryptography designed to be immune to these quantum attacks. So let's see what they're cooking up.
One of the absolute coolest solutions is called quantum key distribution, or QKD. It basically uses the laws of physics as the ultimate security guard. Think of it like a laser tripwire. You send a key using single particles of light. If a spy tries to intercept and measure those particles, the very act of them looking at it changes it. The change is instantly detected, and you know you've got an eavesdropper. The spy reveals themselves just by trying to spy. How cool is that?
So the other big idea is to fight ridiculously hard quantum math with even harder classical math. Researchers are creating brand new types of encryption based on mathematical problems that are believed to be tough for even a quantum computer to solve. And the brilliant thing is, they're not putting all their eggs in one basket. They're developing all kinds of approaches, from weird geometric structures to systems based on digital fingerprints, to build a whole new defensive toolkit for us.
So, okay, we get the problem, and we've got some really promising solutions. The obvious next question is, how do we actually get this stuff out into the world and protecting the metaverse? Well, there's a clear engineering plan for that.
And this isn't just some theory. It's a practical, phased roadmap. You start with the most important thing, our digital identities. You lock those down first with this new post-quantum cryptography. Then you start upgrading the networks to use a hybrid of old and new systems. After that, you build these protections into the massive cloud services that act as the metaverse's backbone. And finally, the goal is to have a fully quantum secure infrastructure from top to bottom.
You know, this quote here really just says it all. We get excited about the flashy parts of the metaverse, the incredible graphics, the smart AI characters. But its survival, its ability to be a place we can actually trust, that's all going to depend on the strength of this invisible cryptographic foundation holding it all up.
And that leaves us with this final thought. The race is on, no question about it. On one hand, we have the blueprint for this incredible new digital dream. But on the other, we have the blueprint for the master key that could unlock it and turn it into a nightmare. The choices we make now and how fast we make them will decide which one we end up with.